Welcome to 1111, which is a segment from my podcast where I talk about a topic for 11 minutes and 11 seconds. Today's topic, we're going to do advice, okay? First of all, I'm not, a doctor. I'm not, like a therapist. I just sometimes like to give advice because sometimes it's good to have like an outside perspective on things. Like for me, I love asking my friends for advice on like certain things that I'm going through because I don't know about you, but I surround myself with like people who have a lot of different perspectives on life, except, organized religion, but I wouldn't ask them for help because they'll just be like, here's the Bible. But anyways, sorry. So I just like having an outside view, okay? Like a bird's perspective, just like, okay, here, like, did you ever think about this option? So let's get into it. First, how do I walk away? Honestly, okay. I just recently walked away from a situation that I was having. At first, I analyzed the situation. I was like, okay, I made a list. I was very extra with this because, hello, it's important. Like, it's my life. Anyways, I made a list. I was like, what do these people bring into my life? What does this specific person that I'm in this thing with bring into my life? Okay, now what negative things are coming with it? And then sometimes you really have to just be very, very, very clear about it. Does this person bring me peace? Does this person allow me to grow? Does this person, also like, does this person bring me any sort of happiness? Like, does this person add to my life? Because I feel like we're at this point where if you're not adding anything positive, growth, anything to my life, then why are you in my life? And it sounds very harsh, but I'm sorry. I'm in my Scorpio rising era, okay? So I'm like, you don't add anything to my life, so I apologize. Like, I literally was just like, hey, I am so sorry. I do not feel any sort of attachment to you. I feel like I feel like it's just a waste of time right now. And I wish you all the best. Nothing but good love, good energy, and let's keep it moving. And that's what happened. I feel like it's way easier said than done, but I obviously asked my friend for help, and they did help me, so that was great. So also like try to get another perspective. I feel like the best way to walk out is just, hey, just text that person or in person, whatever. Be very clear. I feel like, okay, honestly, sometimes ghosting is necessary, but ghosting is like, you feel very bad afterwards. Like, honestly, you do. You feel negative. You want to give people closure. So just be like, a quick text. Just be like, hey, I've had fun with you. We've laughed, we've cried, whatever. And I just want to continue my growth, and I want to be alone. Boom. Now, how this person responds is how this person responds to your boundaries. You can really tell how this person is. So if this person respects you, if this person actually cares for you, they'll be like, okay, I appreciate that you're telling me this, and if this is what you wish, then hey, I can't control this. I can't control your brain. All right, let's call it a day. Whatever. And I think that's the most mature thing to do. I feel like ghosting is just not the vibes anymore, unless it's necessary. But usually it's not necessary. Like a little like text, block, whatever, done. Make sure to block this person, because if you're thinking of getting rid of this person, there's a reason. So just block that person immediately and unfollow them, whatever. Because there's really no purpose in them being in your life. Like obviously you'd want them out of your life. So just be like, hey dog, nothing but the best energy to you. I wish you all the peace and love in the world. I just want to move solo. I feel like I've gone through this like literally a week ago, and it was great. I honestly feel so much better. I feel so much more independent, more free. I feel like we have to be independent for a while. Okay, next. All right, so now we're gonna do how to deal with your flop era. So recently, I've entered my flop era because I feel like I've entered my flop era through my buzz cut. I feel like my buzz cut was my flop era, so I've been like, you know what? Why not? Like, why not enter my flop era with a buzz cut? And I've never felt hotter. Like, I'm sorry, like sometimes realizing that you kind of look ugly is kind of hot because you have some self-confidence into that. Like you have to really bring your mental game into this whole situation if you look hot, I mean if you look ugly. So I've been really focused on that recently. I've been really focused on bringing my mental game into the whole thing. But this person just said how to deal with your flop era. Are they saying I'm in my flop era? Because it's true. But honestly, I don't know. I feel like I feel kind of hot with my buzz cut. I'm sorry, I just do. And there's really no flopping. Like you're hot or you're not hot. Like you're hot or you're hot. Like I feel like if you, like whoever listens to this podcast, I think I told you this before, but your phone scans you, and if you're hot, you're able to listen to this podcast. So I mean, if you're listening to this, you're hot. You know, so you're not in your flop era. Sometimes we're in our flop era to learn. Okay, I'm recognizing that I kind of did flop a little, but honestly, I'm like, I'm not flopping. I'm sorry, I'm not in my flop era. I'm sorry, I'm not. Like I feel really hot in this buzz cut. But I was kind of in my flop era like 3 months ago when I wasn't like very focused on my brain. And I was just like, you know what? It's okay. Like, we're gonna ride this flop. Like, we're just gonna ride it. And you kind of like become just hotter. Like, you literally become hotter because your mental game is at 100. So just walk into the room and be like, you know what? I may look ugly. I may, look like a flop, but I'm her, she, take a pic, it's me, like, just have extreme self-confidence. I know it's so, like, it's really weird because you're already feeling like you're in your flop era, so it's like, how am I gonna get self-confidence if I'm feeling I'm a flop? No, trick your mind, literally trick your mind, because everything is a social construct. Like, whatever you think is a flop is not true. Like, other people find it hot, so don't think like that. You're not a flop. Okay, you're a plop. Sorry, ew. You're not a flop. You're not a flop. You're not in your flop era, okay? This is our Scorpio era, okay? This is our villain era. This is our baddie, independent, me before anybody else era, okay? This is my mind before anything else era, okay? You're not in your flop era, because otherwise you can't listen to this podcast if you're in your flop era. Like, it's just not possible. So your feelings are valid, but you're hot, embrace it. Okay, next. Let's do keep your happy. Okay, how to keep your happy. Honestly, I've been the happiest I've been in a while. I think it's coming in waves where I'm very happy in certain times, and then certain times I'm like, whoa, like, what is going on? And I had this experience recently where I just hit like a very low situation with my parents and like my family and like the whole religious thing. And I was like, this has to stop. Like, this is absolutely ridiculous. I am 19 years old. I'm not dealing with this. Like, I'm just not dealing with this. Like, this is bonkers. So I was like, hey, Gorge, I set my boundaries. I was like, my mental state cannot handle these things that are going on in our family and like our religion and whatever. I'm just not doing this. I'm like, whatever, I'm done. And that just really brought me happiness. So I guess like setting your boundaries. Like, I made a list. I'm telling you this, journaling is like the best thing you could ever do. I journal about what is going on, like, with my happiness. I was literally, what is going on with my happiness? How can I be happier? And it all just came down to your family is kind of toxic. Religion is just toxic for you. You don't even believe in this, whatever. So it's like, okay, how can I fix this? Because these are fixable situations. Like, these are just setting your boundaries and just being like, you know what? This cannot happen anymore. So, you kind of organize your thoughts, be like, okay, this is how I'm going to approach the situation, this is how I'm going to do it, and this is just building your happiness. I feel like we've always been a happy creature, like, since we were babies, so it's like we've always been happy, but I feel like with certain situations, as you grow, you kind of lose that happiness, and we're building it back up. I think that's also our new wave. Like, apart from our Scorpio rising, we're also building our happiness back up. Like, we're getting our happy back, okay? So setting boundaries is very, very, very important, and it's something that I've been learning how to do. Like, it's something that I've struggled with a lot because I'm like, I'm mixed. I'm Mexican, Native American, whatever. Family is huge, so I value family a lot. But sometimes you really have to see how family can be very toxic for you. So you have to really just set these boundaries. And also hobbies. I feel like hobbies have been keeping my happiness alive because I've built happiness from this. I don't think you find happiness. I think you build happiness. So you build things, you find you look for hobbies, you get hobbies, and these things make you happy. These things are building your happiness, you know. For me, it's like paddleboarding, being in the water, because hello, I'm a water sign. I'm an Aquarius, right? Aquarius are water signs. I might be totally wrong, and they're probably like air or something. I don't know. I'm like, I know a lot about signs, but like I really don't. But like setting boundaries, getting hobbies, paddleboarding, kickboxing, working out is one of the best things you can do for your happiness. Like, I'm sorry, it is. It's true. Like, working out. It doesn't even have to be anything crazy. Like, you don't have to go twice a day. You don't have to do dead weight. You don't, nothing. Literally, treadmill, literally run outside, boxing, yoga, meditation. Ooh, meditation is a big one for my happiness. It's allowed me to really focus my brain on like you over anyone else and set these boundaries. Who cares? Okay. So, try to meditate. Meditating is very important. Like literally just Google or like on YouTube, like meditation, 10-minute meditation, whatever. And it's great. Also journaling. Please journal. That is one way to keep my happiness. Anyways, I love you so much. Bye.